And we're good.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Three Nerds on a Sunday, where three nerdy friends talk about all things nerd, geek, and pop culture related. I am one third of the nerd, Sunny, and we're down a nerd this week. Host for this episode specifically is Frank. What's going on?
Hey. Yeah, we
Hey,
tried to get Manny. He is
yeah,
having a good time right now.
oh yeah,
Cannot reach him right now, but maybe he'll join in the middle.
we'll see. Time will tell.
Yes, time will
Um,
tell. Time reveals all.
yeah. So what's going on, man?
A lot of things, a lot of things. We were just talking about toys. So we're
Yeah,
excited for little medieval toys that we love.
yeah. Especially from someone on my end, I like to customize paint and stuff like that. So it's a nice little hobby to have
Yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff,
for a
man.
nerd.
That is it. That is it. I've been watching a lot of TV. We'll talk about it and nerd out.
Can't wait because it's rare for you to actually either watch anything or finish anything. So I'm kind of curious on what you got
Yeah.
to share with us this
I
week.
think I've been a little unable to commit to anything where I have to actually do something, whether it's like paint something or take a picture or push buttons on a game. I just put something on and zone out. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
that's why I've been doing that.
uh,
I'm just like, ugh, just
too
put this
many
on.
too many buttons. Oh,
Yes. That never gets old.
no, never. Uh, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and jump into our news portion of the show.
Okay.
I will go first, I guess. Here you go. Just a quick little talk about the trailer that came out for an Amazon acquired film, The Tomorrow War, starring Chris Pratt. It was more of a teaser trailer than anything else, but I mean the production on it looks really good.
Hmm.
The story is pretty straightforward. Chris Pratt, I guess, leads an elite force into the future where humanity gets invaded by aliens. So they have to fight a an unknown force that takes over the Earth in 30 years. So they
Hmm.
jump forward in time, try to stop it.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool, sci-fi stuff. I'm in. I don't know if it'll be like hard sci-fi or just, hey, this is some pseudoscience stuff. Just get us to the actual plot and action, action, action. So we'll see what it
J-
is. Most likely just action, but I'm kind of excited for it.
I see J.K. Simmons, so that is good. That is always good.
Yeah, always a good guy. Yeah.
I saw a picture, and that was it. I didn't watch the trailer yet. But you said it's only a teaser, so there's not much in it.
Yeah, it's more like a teaser. It's just like it just kind of explains basically what I just said. It's just, oh,
Hmm.
30 years, an unknown force that we can't see attacks us in 30 years. I'm like, okay, so it's aliens. Gotcha.
Did they say when it comes out? Is it this year?
Yes, like July. Oh, July 2nd.
Oh,
So it'll be out 4th of July weekend,
okay.
which is a good time because aliens and humanity duking it out in a fight is very popular on that time.
Yeah, yeah, I think it is. All right. Well, it's gonna stream on Prime, right?
Yeah, yes. As far as I'm
And
aware, yeah.
I think they always try to put it in theaters too.
Yeah, I guess they get nominated or be like, hey, we can make a little money on the side too. So because Amazon, they have plenty of
Yeah.
money.
Yes, I believe they do. Cool.
All right, man. So what you got on docket for us?
I'll take a turn. PlayStation Plus free games for next month.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 5, which I think a lot of people already have. If you don't, I think still people still play it. And then there's supposed to be another Battlefield revealed at E3.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's probably why they're doing this. But in addition to that, there's something called Stranded Deep. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
It's one of those survival games. I've seen the cover, I just don't know anything about it. But I always kind of get interested in these because they're always just like cool settings. But I could see it getting, for me personally, kind of boring. Like,
Mm,
constantly going out for supplies and, oh, I
yeah.
ran out of wood, so now I can't build this stupid little shack.
Yeah.
So But you know what? Some of these games actually, they always have a, what do they call it? Like a explore mode maybe or something where like you don't really have to worry about all that. Like you could just run around and you can have as much resources as you want. Like you don't really have to worry about all that. So I hope it has that. It's because I kind of want to try it.
It'll be cool. Yeah, because I mean, I won't say I hate games now, but I am getting to a point where it's like, oh, it's just the same
Mm-hmm.
repetition or same fight sequence over and over again. There's no variety or you know
Yeah.
change of pace, and even in the story. So it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
hooray! Fight, survive the night, collect wood and fire, and come back and do it again. I'm like, what? I did it like 50 times already.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm not doing this 100 times.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I mean the games are becoming few and far between that are really good.
yeah, I mean, again, as shitty as Cyberpunk is and the
Oh my
marketing and
God,
everything, those story missions are surprisingly deep on
they
all of
are
them.
actually pretty good,
I was
I would
like,
say.
I go from like um doing a side job for this guy who wants to kill this one guy, kill his family, and then it turns into like me crucifying a man on TV live because he wants to be a martyr. I'm like, holy shit, that made a fucking wild turn. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, and the other free game is called Wreckfest.
Rick Fast.
I think it's just a destruction derby racer.
Straightforward.
I never played it. It does look cool. I've heard it's good. So if it's free, I'll try it for 20 minutes. And if it's any good, I'll keep it. If not, I'll just leave it in the library.
Yeah, which is the great thing about this that there if you have a PlayStation Network deal going on, you can play it 5 minutes, never pick it up again, or pick it up in 5 years, and you still have it.
Yeah,
It's
and you lost nothing. So
yeah, and it just costs you like what, $10 a month to play online and to get like 3 games, two 3 games free. So
yeah,
it's always
yeah.
hard
I
to say.
mean, if you get like 2 free games out of the whole year that you actually really love, that's pretty much paid for itself.
Yeah, pretty much. And you're almost guaranteed to at least find a couple games that are going to be like, oh, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. That was mine. You got another one?
well, yes, I do, sir. Um, on some good news, and we'll talk about this more in depth later. Amazon has renewed Robert Kirkman's violent animated series Invincible for second and
Yes.
third seasons. I thoroughly enjoyed this series.
Hell
This
yeah.
season is very good. I am that guy who read the comics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what's going to happen, what's going to occur, and that's why I want more seasons because what's to come is really good. And although the animation is spotty at times,
A
and is
little.
definitely on a budget. Um, I think with more popularity, they can start to get better on the seasons. And this, I think they actually have a live action film in the works. I think,
Hmm.
or or it has a deal for it. But this is suited for animation. The violence, the action, especially and again,
Yeah.
especially where this series goes, it gets harder and harder to have a live action movie do that and make it not just go. At this point, just make it a cartoon. Um,
Yeah. It'd be really hard to do in live action.
yeah, and I'll hold my comments from here on out just because again we're gonna go in depth spoiler talks for season one of Invincible later on in the show. So, but
Hmm.
season two and three are confirmed and for Amazon. So at least we have 2 more seasons of this. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Awesome, man. I am very glad. Um. All right. This is my last one.
All right.
So the Injustice team, which is also the team that does Mortal Kombat, is gonna be working on a Marvel fighting game.
Hmm.
I couldn't tell if this is like 1,000% confirmed,
Yeah.
but it looks like it is. They're just trying to be really quiet about it.
Sure.
Um, what other people are saying, and it's probably not true, but they want it to be really bad, is like what if they just did a Marvel versus DC? Because they kind of already have the license for the DC games with Injustice, and now if they're also have a license for Marvel, like why just do Marvel? Why not just go nuts and be like Marvelverse DC, give us all your money right now?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, or not why they wouldn't. I guess why shouldn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
it's like
again,
once in a lifetime opportunity, I think.
I mean that's licensed to print money. Like fighting are pretty popular, and if you do this, I
Yeah.
mean, you get to see, the Hulk versus Superman. You
Yeah.
get, Iron Man versus Batman. You get
Mm-hmm.
all these really cool new
Like
matchups.
Batman versus Cap.
Yeah, I mean that just like it again. It just sells itself, and even if it's a halfway good game, because again, like I didn't play Injustice 2. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
did I? No, I didn't.
No,
Uh, the first
they're
Injustice
actually pretty good.
was yeah, the Injustice 1 was a really good game, strong. Um,
Yeah.
it was definitely challenging at times, and each character felt different, which was nice. So if they
Hmm.
kind of stick along with that model, DC versus Marvel is a, as you said, it's a no brainer, and I don't know why. And but I'm pretty sure it's on egos. They're like, we're not gonna be upstaged by that more. We don't want the then we want all your money.
I know, right?
Because I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we haven't really seen a Marvel fighting game since Marvel vs. Capcom, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the latest Marvel vs. Capcom was bad. So
Yeah, that's right. It was like what number 3.752 version or some shit because
something like that.
because
Like,
kind of does those weird shit now.
yeah, 3 was okay, but then I guess 3.5 slash infinite to me was not good.
uh, I
And
can't.
they kind of gutted the roster because
Yeah,
it seemed like they had to stick to movie characters, and it was like it was really
yeah,
hurting the roster. And then hiding most of them behind DLC, so it's like,
yeah, and that's why people
God,
hate Capcom, and it took a while for me to catch up. I'm like, is Capcom really that bad? No, they're really bad. They're really bad. Especially after that Street Fighter 5 game where like on game release you only had like 8 characters to play with, like 9 characters.
yeah,
You had to buy all the other ones or get the 5.2 version or whatever they're on. It's like, come on, man.
it's ridiculous, man.
Like, you're fuck you. I'm not paying
It's
60
just too
bucks for like
much.
characters.
And then they had like 6 releases of the game already. Oh my
Yeah,
God, too
Capcom.
much.
Beat Dead Rising. That's great, but go fuck yourself.
Yep. All right, man. What you got?
Uh, I'll get the last news here. Um, Godzilla versus Kong. Director Adam Wingard is reportedly in talks to return for a new Monsterverse film, one which could be titled Son of Kong. I think it's. I mean, the fact that we might get more of the Monsterverse universe is really good.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. The Son of Kong thing. I mean, Kong. There's nothing wrong with having Kong as the actual lead. There's no reason to bring his son into this, but whatever. Um,
It's kind of a weird choice, yeah.
it's really a weird choice. Um, I mean, it's not even this. Nah, I don't know.
Is that
I
really
mean,
what people want next? I mean,
I think this one they just want something entertaining, and I guess this is their best way of doing it, maybe. Or maybe they lost the
well,
rights to the rest of the main characters, so they had to go with the sons now. It's like,
Jesus
well,
Christ.
technically, I think he falls underneath
I
this
mean, it
this kind of character.
kind of almost makes sense because maybe he finds him in the center of the earth. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that could be it. Could be he's like, oh look, I thought it was the last one. Come, boy, I shall train you.
It's like, look, it's my bastard son
He's like,
that I
where's
never
you?
knew I had.
I've been waiting down here for 30 years, you son of a bitch.
He's like, that was the one who put that axe there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh,
Well, I'm
like,
glad it's not dead. That's all. So,
yeah, I'm glad it's not dead. It is something, I guess. Again, I would just prefer more Godzilla and Kong itself, but I will take the Son of Kong as well if that's what I'm gonna get.
yeah.
More monsters, always a good thing. And as like you said, that was your last piece of news. So
Yeah.
that was the news. Hooray!
Bye bye.
Let's. Uh,
I said bye bye, news.
bye bye. So let's go ahead and jump into our nerd outs of the week. I only have two nerd outs this week, and I think you say you had three. So
Hmm.
um, I'll go first. Well,
Okay.
technically I have three, but again, Invincible is our main topic. So I watched Vampires versus the Bronx on Netflix, the Netflix exclusive,
Hmm.
and it is okay. Uh,
Hmm. Okay.
it definitely is a a very light PG-13 S type of film. There's not much blood. There's some cool visuals in there that they do with like lighting and the creatures themselves, but it's just kind of a, a average, like really PG-13 S type of movie.
Hmm.
Uh,
Is it trying to be like Attack the Block or no?
um, um, I mean, it's hard not to find comparisons in it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, so the general idea is that the Bronx is a filled with minorities, as they put it in the films of like mainly black and Puerto Rican people, and they say everyone forgets about us at the Bronx. Anything happens, no one gives a shit here. So there's this
Hmm.
land developer that's coming in, and it's not even subtle. It's like the face of like Dracula on there as main logo, and they're buying up all these places and basically gentrifying the area.
Hmm.
And this one kid, he's trying to save a bodega that he really likes, that basically is like his second home there. Him and his friends
Right.
hang out there after school, and they're really close with the owner. And that's where they watch like Blade for the first time. And there's like one cool scene where like they watch Blade, and they're like, "I'm a nice." It's like, um,
That sounds
but
funny.
past that, like it has some good moments in it. The vampires are kind of cool, but it just feels like a watered down horror movie.
Hmm.
I'd say maybe more for like kids or young teens, or maybe someone who is into like horror stuff. Like they like if they find like I don't know. I don't even know what like light horror is anymore.
Yeah.
I don't because I
I
usually
don't
watch
either.
I watch the good stuff. um, so yeah, I guess for someone who doesn't like horror movies, it's probably good watch.
Hmm.
Um, and if you need something to put on the background, this is pretty good. Or if you want to introduce your kids to horror,
Yeah.
this is probably a good way to do it.
Like what? Like teen or younger?
I would say young teens. I mean, you really shouldn't show
12 or
it.
something?
I mean, you shouldn't be like me and watch like From Dusk to Dawn at the age of 5.
It's crazy
But
what the heck we saw, man.
yeah, our parents were like, "Listen, this is fake. That's all you need to know. Go watch it."
I'm like, I wouldn't let my kids watch probably 1% of what I saw at their
Oh shit.
at that
Yeah,
age.
yeah. Although I guess it turned out okay. A couple of screws, but I think we're pretty good.
No, we're good. But it's
Yeah.
just, man, some of those were crazy that we saw.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Empires of the Bronx, yeah, I saw the trailer and sort of wanted to watch it, and then I forgot completely, and then I just never watched it.
Yeah, I definitely won't say it's like a must watch. It's not bad. It's
Hmm.
fun.
Okay.
Um, and my second nerd out is Modern Family. The for the longest time, Hulu was only showing like the newest season that was out, but I think a couple months ago or maybe earlier this year, they have the full season of Modern Family from season 1 through 11
Mm.
available to watch now. So I've knocked out like 3 seasons already, back to back to back. Um,
Damn.
it's surprisingly funny. Um, again, on 11 years, I think it ended like a couple years ago or maybe last year, something like that.
Hmm.
So I was younger-ish when it came out. I wasn't a kid, but shit,
Like
I was
young
probably
enough, right?
young enough where I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty cool. And the fact they went for 11 seasons is insane.
That is insane.
But it, this is a show that I do thoroughly enjoy watching. It has a lot of innuendos of jokes or like stuff that's like, that's inappropriate, but it's not that. So it's funny. Um, and I like the characters. I like the dad. Oh my goodness. Not Jay.
Uh,
Uh, the guy from the Just Till Dawn. The asshole
uh,
guy.
oh yeah. I like him. Yeah.
Yeah, him. He's hilarious in this in the show.
Is he like
Um,
the uncle or something?
no, oh no, he's like the dad of the three kids.
Okay.
Um,
I thought the dad was. Oh, so is that the grandpa then? Ed
yeah,
Bundy?
yeah, he's the grandpa.
Oh Jesus! I don't know why I never understood that. I mean, I've never really watched the show, but
Yeah. This is a show that genuinely makes me like laugh out loud. There's like times I'm just like ah, I'm just laughing. I'm laughing like an asshole. And
that's
I'm
funny.
on like season 8 because like I skipped the first 3 seasons because I when the show first came out I watched those a lot. I watched the show like every weekend and watched all the reruns for
Hmm.
like 3 seasons, and then I just got either got sidetracked or some other show came up, and I just I would see episodes here and there. So I'm like on season 8 already.
Yeah.
It's still funny. It's still good. I definitely see some of the little wear and tear coming in at season 8. So we'll see how the rest of the show goes. But this is definitely something like I won't put it on quite on level like a Parks and Rec or How I Met Your Mother for me personally, but this is a show I can put on in the background and just kind of like laugh and clean around the house, or
Yeah.
if I'm painting or if I'm working on something. So
Or
this is
get
really
stuff
good.
done or whatever.
Yeah, this is a really good show for that because like you don't ever really stop to like sit down. Oh well, now I have to watch it since I'm watching,
Mm.
but you'll laugh, ha, cool, and then like move on. So
It's like the visuals are there, but really you're just kind of more almost listening.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
like those.
yeah,
Especially if
so
it's puts you in a good mood. So it's like,
yeah,
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 put that on.
this will put you in good mood. It's
Hmm.
again, it's a family drama, a modern family esque again because it's all the families are not, with the exception of like I guess like the main family. There's this gay couple. They adopt a Korean child, and then Jay's like 70 years old and married like a hot Latin wife, and
Hmm.
she has a son from previous marriage, so it's like a
All right.
like a modern family. So,
Yeah,
but it's funny though.
it's like not traditional at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I would say if you like I said, if you need like a new like binge worthy show to watch or something to make you feel good and happy, Modern Family is available on Hulu. All 11 seasons are up now to watch.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Plenty to watch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, plenty. That'll last a week.
Oh yeah, more.
Yeah. So those are my nerd outs for this week.
Cool. All right. Well, I did nothing but watch stuff, and I left a lot of things out because it wasn't that good. So so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
talk about those. But the ones that I did like, I will talk about.
All right.
So you kind of started to sell me on the Tremors thing,
Ah.
and one day I was like, I need something to watch. I was like, Tremors. So I go to Netflix, I load up Screecher Island, and I had a great time. I had a great time watching that. I give
Nice.
it like a 7 or an 8. It's like that much fun. I really was not expecting it. Heater really surprised me. Like he was definitely like a dweeb character, but he was not annoying.
Right.
He's actually kind of fun and stuff. And great action. They made everything look nice. It wasn't didn't feel like cheap, and the writing was, when it starts to bother you enough to where you're like, this is just it's so
Yeah.
stupid. Like this is terrible. This is the most god awful writing and acting I've ever seen.
Oh
It
yeah.
didn't do that for some reason, and it was weird. And I love the one guy. He showed up in The Mandalorian, and he was in Doom, and I just can't remember his name.
The creepy little
The
skinny guy.
southern, yeah, creepy
Yeah.
guy.
He's really good at playing those type of
Oh,
characters.
he's awesome. I love that guy. He's like Walton Goggins light for me.
Oh shit!
But
You put him and Goggins on screen. That's just money.
You imagine if they're like just like two jerks on a movie or something, like just messing with
Shit.
people.
Put him in a Western movie. It'll be hilarious.
Yes, put him in, yeah, him and Goggins or something, man, like just talking smack, or
I
two
mean,
bounty hunters or something like
I
that. I
mean,
don't know.
I don't even think they've been in the same movie together. I don't think. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Don't need to make this happen right now. That's all
I'm
I'm saying.
gonna. His name is Richard Brake, and I'm sorry for not knowing your name because you're awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm terrible with names, so.
Yeah, he's been around, man. He's always showing up and stuff. Always really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doom. I liked him as Portman. I'm looking at his filmography right now, but he was a highlight for me. And Heater was, like I said, was not bad. And then the main guy, who Michael Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him. I mean, it was kind of cool. He was cool, better than I thought he would be. I just liked this movie. I was like really, really, really surprised. Not expecting to like it one bit because that cover, let me tell you, that
Oh,
cover
it's funny.
doesn't do them any favors.
No.
It's really not going to make people click on it. So this was great, man. Like the monsters look good and everything.
Yeah. Like, I think I said a few weeks ago that I'm surprised at how high quality this whole series is as a whole,
Hmm.
especially going straight to DVD and streaming. This is
Yeah,
like really good,
this was great. I had
realistic
so much
movie.
fun.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm
dude,
so
this is awesome. Like they built up everything, all the lore and different types and all that, and just so good.
yeah.
Fun movie. Yeah, this is like one of those movies where it's just they don't really do these really that much. Like they try to, but they always fall flat. And it's just like turn it off halfway. It's just like unwatchable.
Oh
But
yeah.
a quick spoiler warning. So if you care, just be careful because I'm gonna ask a question. So this is the latest Tremors, right, Sonny? And you know what happens at the end, right? So his character is done, basically.
Uh, from everything I understand, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, I think he had a hell of a run, and it's about time to
oh,
take it
yeah,
easy.
man. One.
Freaking
Uh,
what 30-year run on Tremors.
I mean, shit, that's like 7 movies. So,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
and he has been definitively the best parts of all of them.
Of course, yeah. But he was in every single one, right? He didn't miss a single one.
No, he was in all of them. One, two, three, the
Nice.
pre, and then the three new ones that came out.
Cold Day in Hell was a previous one.
That one is probably the weakest.
Yeah.
Well, if you are gonna watch them all, then you kind of have to watch that one too. Um,
Okay. I think only like two of them are on Netflix though, which kind of sucks. Because if they had them all, I might have to watch them all.
yeah, I mean, you might as well. You're in it now.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, dude, I really enjoyed it. So thank you.
Yeah, it's fun.
That was fun. And I watched In Search of Darkness Part 2
Dun dun dun.
on Shudder. Which, if you don't know what it is, it's like an exploration of horror movies from the past, and I think it's like 3.5, 4 hours. So it took me like the whole week. I
Yeah,
watch like 40 minutes here, 20 minutes there, when I'm doing stuff.
yeah.
But it did shed some light for me on a bunch of stuff I never heard of, and ones that I always saw the covers, and I was just like,
Yep.
they were never available, or I never saw them, or whatever. So a couple things showed up that I was interested in, and I put it on my list. I was able to find Chud, which I've never seen. Have you seen it?
I want to say yes, but I almost guarantee I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's on the Prime right now, but I actually would not recommend really watching it. I wanted to like it, and it's a
Yeah.
cool concept, but it's pretty bad. Like I was open-minded, man. And I still didn't just. It was just a pretty big mess. It was like something that John Carpenter would direct, but he didn't.
Oh, okay.
So if he did, I think this would have been a great concept for him, and he would have done a great job. But as it is, it's pretty bad, man. It has like the dad from Home Alone in it, and it has Marv from Home Alone, and it has the dad from Starship Troopers, which I know that's not his claim to fame, but that's where I know him from.
Okay,
The
I
ones
know exactly.
who's like, "You're cut off, man. You're cut
Yep.
off, Johnny."
I know
And,
exactly.
he's a good actor though. I love his voice and I like his acting. So I like him. But uh, John Goodman shows up for literally one scene,
Oh,
and so there's names in here and faces, but it's just nothing real. It's just a lot of nothing happening, and when it does, it's really poorly done. And just yeah, I just wouldn't recommend it. But In Search of Darkness was good. It's only so many movies that I never heard of, but it does get monotonous because it's very long. So
that's
you really,
that's the thing.
yeah, you can't watch it for too long because you're just gonna get sick of it.
I mean, I would say I don't think this is made to be watched in its entirety. It definitely works. It works best when you break it up. Like again, like you said, watch 20 minutes here, watch 30 minutes here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I haven't seen the second one yet, but the first one was basically like a hot take on all these different films, and they
Yes.
give you highlights of like, hey, they give you just enough information to be like, now you know what it is. Check it out. It's really good. It's
Yeah.
this is classic, so on and so forth. And then they'll pick like a main topic. They'll talk about slasher films for like a couple minutes,
Right.
the importance of it, and then they'll go back to like this movie and this movie and this movie.
Yeah.
Um, it
Which
does
I
get
liked,
there, some,
but
but
it's like, yeah.
yeah,
Well, man, they would have been better off like making episodic chapters,
yes, yeah.
like instead of a 4 hour documentary, let's chop it into 30 minutes each or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something.
'cause, I mean, like horror has so many subgenres that they could break
It's
like,
crazy.
this is the clown episode. This is like the demon episode. This is the haunted house episode. It's like they
Yeah.
have plenty to choose from, and I
Then there's like
love
the
them
Beast
working all
or
together.
Nature Run Amok, I guess they call it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Those are
There's so
fun.
much good shit. But I do commend them for actually doing this, for even putting all of this together,
It's
let alone
exhaustive. It's really good.
let alone doing it twice. That's really
And
impressive.
getting some big names and everything. So
Oh yeah, and I
Savini and
don't
England.
Yeah, don't quote me, but I think the guys that did this is working on a sci-fi version of
Hmm,
this type of documentary as well.
that'd be great.
Yeah, so something to look forward to.
Yeah, very good though. Definitely worth the watch. Both of them. So I think they're done with this for now. But it only went up to the 80s though. So they could do more.
I mean,
90s, 2000. But I think this is more nostalgia based, right? They're not gonna.
the '90s would be very interesting because there's a lot of shit in the '90s, but the good stuff is good. um,
Yeah.
and then the 2000s was a little different. I mean, they can do it up to now because there's been such a renaissance of like indie house horror stuff like the past couple years, and like new takes on stuff that they can honestly make probably two more of these. Like,
Yeah.
oh, now the '90s and now the 2000s, and it's like, oh shit, because there's a lot of stuff that I even miss, and
Oh
I
yeah.
love. But I'm like, geez, I don't know half of these films.
Yeah, man. Uh, yeah, because they definitely showed me a lot of stuff, but yeah, pretty good. And then the last thing, I got into a new anime.
Ooh.
It's called Demon Slayer.
Ah, yes, yes.
It's very popular actually, and there was a theatrical movie that just came out, which kind of put it on, like, I don't know. I always heard it was good. I always saw it. I just never
Mhm.
watched it. Then I kept hearing like friends of mine talking about it, and like I don't know. Then when the theatrical thing came, I asked somebody who watches it. I was like, "Hey, can you just watch this, or do you have to watch the show?" And he's like, "No, you have to watch the show, but it's only 26 episodes right now. They're 22 minutes each." So I was like, "Hmm, interesting."
Yeah.
So I go to Netflix and I start it, and I was pretty hooked. I got to episode 10, and I really appreciate the pace because I can definitely tell you that there are anime that would hold on to certain concepts and drag them for 20 episodes.
Mhm.
Like not to give anything away, but basically this kid becomes a demon slayer in a world where demons are all over.
Mhm.
And there's like a family tragedy involved, and it gets anime from there. But the
Anime.
animation's nice. It looks very pretty. It's very high quality. The battles are cool. There's a lot of that internal monologue stuff, which if that bothers the hell out of you, I wouldn't
Then
say it's too bad, to be honest.
then the anime is not for you. just,
Basically, the part, I think it definitely works, and it remains a thing throughout the show. And then, are you still there or no?
yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So anyway, yeah, like I said, the fight's good. The demons are interesting. The world's interesting. They definitely have their own rules, and they do a lot with the demon concept. There's a lot to it. There's like a leader vampire, I mean vampire demon, and the way that the demon slayers actually work is interesting. So there's like training stuff in the beginning. Then there's like a trials period. Then there's like now he's on actual missions. So it's really cool. I actually really like it. I'm very surprised. And it does have some comedic elements like the goofy, silly stuff that you see in
Yeah,
anime.
sure.
Not to a bad amount though, and I think it's definitely worth a watch, especially like I said, the pace and the low commitment of time, because it's just 20 minutes. You're gonna be able to tell right away within the first 2 to 3 episodes if this is for you.
Mhm.
And at that point, you haven't spent too much time, and the pace is fast enough to where you're not like, where is this going? Like in 20 episodes, am I finally gonna get to know what happened to this person or that person? So
Yeah, that is good to hear. I
yeah.
think anime is evolving to a better, I don't want to say streamline, but like a better way of telling their stories.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I'm watching Hunter x Hunter
Okay.
on Netflix,
I wanted
and
to try that.
so again, this is one of those considered a classic anime that really helped build the shonen to what it is now.
Oh,
Like,
I thought it was newer. So this is older.
yeah, so like there was a re-edited version of Hunter x Hunter came out in 2014, I think,
Mm.
where like because I think like the first run was, I could be wrong, but like maybe 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was and the new series that you can watch on Netflix are quote unquote new series. They kind of like trim the fat on like certain episodes. Like things are like are considered more tight now,
Okay.
uh, which they did for like I think Brotherhood. That was like Full Metal Alchemist as well, where
Uh-huh.
like the first one is kind of like it's good, but they kind of missed on some points and all that kind of stuff. And then they did Brotherhood, and they're like, okay, all the important stuff are back. Things are like tighten up now, and it's like a
Mhm.
better show. So
Oh,
that's what
see,
it.
I always thought it was a separate show. Okay, now I
No,
understand.
yeah. So
So it's
like,
almost like Dragon Ball Kai then.
yeah, kind of. So like, it's like it's the same show, but they add stuff and they
Mm.
make stuff make more sense and they make it more streamlined, I guess.
Yeah.
So and
Okay.
so yeah, so this one it's on Netflix, the 2014 version of Hunter x Hunter, I think. Um, and I can definitely see where the tropes come from because like the whole first season is just them is the main characters getting past the test to be hunters. Like the whole first season is just that.
Wow.
It's good. Like don't get me
That's
wrong,
good. I mean, yeah.
it is good. And there's one character I'm very hard with these names. If it's not something easy, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like a gesture kind of clown looking guy. Like if you know anime, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm highly interested to see what's going to happen with him because he's a really good bad guy. He's creepy.
Hmm.
Kind of see where that's going to go. But
Yeah.
to hear that with this show, that they kind of instead of spending the whole first season him learning to be a hunter and training or getting
Yeah.
past trials, it's like he did it. Let's go. let's,
It's like
let's
by
go.
the 10th episode, you've already know the emotional background, you know his trials, you know he passes, and you know now he's on missions. So, I mean, there is an end goal to him,
Yeah, sure.
which is very, very interesting. It's like I really did not expect it. So they're really going deep with the demon lore.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, man. There's stuff that ancient stuff that nobody knows. There's rumors. There's the leader guy. There's demons that are half evil. Some that are trying to go on the side of good. Stuff like that. So it's very
Yeah.
interesting. I would say, yeah. If you want something new, check this out. Real good.
Cool. Yeah, that's definitely on my list of stuff to watch for sure. So
Yeah, real cool. I'm gonna finish it up. Probably take me another week or two, but I'll finish it. That's it, man. I've been watching a lot.
cool. It's good, man. It's good. Yeah, like I said, anime is starting to. Well, it's gonna be hard because my hero, I think, is just perfect.
Yeah, so
Um,
good.
but yeah, I mean, just from stuff I'm hearing and new stuff coming out or stuff that's pretty recent, like I got a lot of shit to watch, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, it's good. There's a lot of choices now. I mean, there's
Yeah,
if you don't like one, then you got like 300 others to choose from.
yeah, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, a lot of these shows only run a season or two because they're just too damn expensive to make. So
Yeah,
you can jump in, watch the entire series, and okay, I'm good. You're all done.
they kind of have to get to it. I mean, maybe that's why Demon Slayer is popular
Yeah,
because they didn't spend a whole season on the background. He's
yeah,
already kind of at it going forward.
and I'm pretty sure that that show has sold merchandise and toys and shirts like up the ass. So, because
Yeah.
again, like it's crazy how much it makes to make one episode. Like
Yeah.
not a season, like one episode.
Hmm.
It gives you millions of dollars just to make one episode. It's insane.
How many hours would you like for an action-based show? I mean, nobody really tells you, right? I mean,
They don't really tell you, but I mean,
it's got to
like,
be what, hundreds, right? I mean, combined hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But as long as you sell merchandise, you will get your shows. So
I
if you
think
like
it's
something,
a
buy it.
matter of time until McFarlane comes out with Demon Slayer figures, because
I feel like someone already did, and I don't
they
know who.
did, but they're like $140.
And people will buy them, as we well know.
Yeah, they're
So,
actually sold out already, dude. The main
Jesus,
character is sold out on Big Bad.
is the
140, dude.
is the main character the pig head guy? Or
No, actually,
okay,
I
I was
haven't
just
run
curious.
into him yet.
Okay, yeah, because
But
he's
there's other hunters
apparently
basically, and they
popular.
all
So
quirky. Yeah, the pig guy. Yeah, that's what kind of drew me. I was like, what the hell is his deal?
yeah, I'm like, why does he have a pig head and he has two swords? What the fuck?
I'm like, what in God's name is this guy? Yeah, he
uh,
just ran into like the second junior hunter,
mm,
so I'm kind of just starting to get into
gotcha.
that.
Okay.
Really cool aspects, man. Really, I think you would dig it, man. The world that they've created here, very unique, really cool concepts they're coming up with.
Yeah, I had a friend. He like, because I told him, "Sir, I've come to you for knowledge because I don't know shit about anime, and he loves anime
Yeah.
to like everything." I'm like, "Holy shit!" So I just go to him for all my stuff. He's like, "I think you should watch Hunter x Hunter first, and then watch Demon Slayer later."
Hmm.
Okay, so Hunter x
Yeah.
Hunter is pretty good so far. So
Nice. Yeah, I will check that out at some point. But there's so much to watch.
yeah, yeah, shit, you ain't kidding.
Jesus.
But that's the end of your nerd out, which means
Yep.
we are heading into our spoiler talks for Invincible Season 1, a Amazon Prime original TV show. Um, I'll do the spiel at the end of the show.
Okay.
If you haven't watched Invincible, or you haven't finished it yet, jump off, pause us, go finish it, come back and join us for a spoiler talk. Um, Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week? Question mark. Um, we do hope to see you back, and honestly, you should watch the show. It's really good. Just a
Yes.
quick synopsis. It's a kid that gets powers and becomes a superhero, and that's the basic underlying story of it. But oh boy, if you don't know what you're in for, get ready.
Oh yeah.
um, so again, go watch it on Prime. All 8 episodes of the first season are up now to watch. Check it out. So do that. Come back. So we are getting spoiler talks in five, four, Three, two, one. Um, so Invincible. What'd you think of the show?
I was blown away. I actually got on our group and I said 11 out of 10.
I saw that. I
Loved
saw.
it so much. I was not expecting to like it very much.
So I know you said you read the first volume. You remember reading the first volume.
Like the
Did you ever go
first four
past that?
issues, that was it.
Yeah. Did you go past that, or you don't know anything else about what
I
goes
don't
on?
know anything else. And
Okay.
it had been years, so this was kind of fresh for me to watch.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to say right off the bat. If you have not read the comics, and now we know that season 2 or 3 are coming for the show. If you
Hmm.
haven't read the comics, just watch the TV show at this point. Don't
Yeah,
as much as I want people to support the comic has ended, so it's not like it like 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 the comic needs to for people to come in and read it. The story's already over. It's done.
yeah,
Um, just wait until the show's over to go read the book because I guarantee you things are going to change or certain or things will be or timeline's going to be changed a little bit here and there. But if you haven't read the comics, just watch the show. Don't even bother with anything else. And if you read the comics, then like me, I read up to like issue like 90,
hmm
80, somewhere around that range. And then when I heard this was coming to the TV show, I tracked down with a friend. Hey, you got these books, right? Let me read them. So so I know how the series ends and I know where the fuck it goes. And holy shit, um, my God, Kurtman's
It's
a weird
incredible,
man.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
He really
Kurtman's
subverted a lot of things that are in the comic world.
yeah, man. I mean, again, like calling this a superhero story is, I don't even think you can call it that. This is,
Mm,
I think, especially as the book goes on in the comics, it's more it has more in line with like Game of Thrones than anything else. uh,
kinda. So
crazy.
far, I mean, just shadows of it from what I'm watching.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll try not to spoil anything because again, I know how it ends and main characters, but
Yeah.
this I did enjoy it. I really
Hmm.
it, it does give you a little something extra. Like there's one thing to read on the page, but to see it like live
Yeah.
in your face is really cool. And right off the bat, the voice acting I think is really good. Voice acting
Stacked.
is great. They're not afraid to bring in people like maybe not big names to the general public, but to like film nerds and like genre fans.
Hmm.
Walton Goggins is in here. Clancy Brown is in here for a couple of episodes. I mean, they break out they break the glass and hey, you come do a voice for this guy. Oh,
Even big names, Mark
yeah.
Hamill and J.K. Simmons and all those.
I didn't envision the Omni Man with that voice, but J.K. Simmons really does make it work really
Yeah.
well. He has like really gritty, strong tone voice. Like, damn,
Yeah.
you sound like my ass. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right?
um,
Totally, man.
I mean, I don't know how you want to do this. You just want to talk about
Uh,
highlights of the show, go episode by episode, or just kind of like talk about like the most important things in this first season.
maybe just the important topics that
Okay.
occur and just kind of what you thought of them. I know you have a different perspective because you know a lot about this, but yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty fresh. I just knew like his name and maybe powers and maybe one other thing, but I didn't know much.
Yeah. um.
I definitely didn't know what was gonna happen at the end of episode one,
Yeah. Um.
which was insane.
Yeah. Uh. I
Holy
mean,
shit.
like, it wasn't shot for shot in the comics, but when he's sitting there covering blood, he's like, "His son, we need to talk." He's like, "Oh shit, what's gonna happen?"
Yeah,
And then we find out, like, you son of a bitch. um. I mean, fuck it.
I don't know
So,
how you want to do
less.
it
So,
because there's a lot. That's why.
there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot.
Jesus.
Um. Let's just go with the big twist at the end of the series, or at the end of the season, I should say. Omni Man, which is the father of Invincible.
Hmm.
Uh, he reveals to his son that, hey, remember all that shit I told you about our people being, these peaceful people that go out there to like help, worlds from being conquered. Well, we actually do the conquering. Like
Yeah,
we take over planets
like
and make them join
supremacists.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not diplomatic. They'll come in, listen. You either join us or we fuck up your shit. Fuck you. Burn this place to the ground, and they burn places to the ground.
And
They
what's
are
worse is like
violent
they
people.
killed their own kind to weed out
Yes.
the weakest of the strongest race. So basically, you got a bunch of pissed off, really strong, indoctrinated supremacists that can't be stopped,
Yeah, and
conquering the whole freaking galaxy.
yeah, and we really and that brings us to Omni Man's um kind of arc in the series. Like the beginning of the first episode, at the end, we find out that Omni Man kills the Guardians. Um, we don't know why. He just, I mean, he tears them apart. Just
Yeah, it was
absolutely, and
beyond
and
brutal.
and this was that first time in the first episode because each episode is like 47 minutes.
Hmm.
At
Pretty
that
long.
point, we didn't really see any blood. There wasn't much like indication that this was gonna be that type of show.
No, it
Uh,
looked pretty PG.
I mean, he comes out of nowhere. He's smashing heads and punching through people's faces and snapping
Yeah,
necks or spewing blood. This is not a kid show. It looks like a
hmm
kid show. It is not a kid show. This
it
is
acts like
violent.
one for the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, it is. It is violent.
Yeah.
I literally was watching someone on YouTube. They were watching Invincible. Never read the comics. Didn't know what it was about. They were watching it, and they got to the part where like he like squeezes I forgot it's like red.
The
I'll call him
quick
Red
guy?
Mist.
Or
Yeah, I'll call him Red Mist just because I don't remember his name. He squeezes his head, and he you see eyeballs start to pop out, and he just
yeah.
squishes his head to like liquid, and you're like, oh my god,
I
what is
like how
that?
he's trying to fight out of it. Like he's
Yeah,
punching him at supersonic speed or whatever.
yeah.
And it's
Um,
just too dang powerful. Like it's ridiculous.
Uh, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he is the Superman of this universe. Omni
Yeah.
Man.
I think
He's,
even maybe stronger.
well, yeah. Um,
And
so,
he's ruthless as hell. Like
he is
I
brutal.
love what they did in the finale because I was not expecting like a deep philosophical thing because he
Mm,
kind of revealed more stuff about the race, like that they live so damn long.
yeah.
And he's basically just saying these people are weak. They live for like a blip. You'll forget
Mhm.
them in 1,000 years anyway. Like, why do you care?
Yeah.
You know, and I was kind of like, Jesus Christ, like that is like
It's
the scariest thing
it was
right
really
there.
cool because like we get hints of him kind of acting superior or like being really bossy to people or like kind of like he's like very dismissive of people throughout the
Hmm.
throughout, throughout the season. And we're not sure why. We don't know if he's maybe like he was frustrated or taking over when he did the attacks in the first episode. But then it turns out that no, he knows who he is, and he's like, listen, we are the greatest things in this world. We can crush anything and anybody that we want. This is our path. We have this is who we are. Like
Hmm.
they are like they are the strongest for all intents and purposes. They are the strongest race in the whole entire galaxy. I
Yeah.
mean, they like conquer planets by themselves.
Hmm.
Um, he explains that, oh yeah, we used to like just the whole force of our empire would just hit a planet, but then we figured we had to start working smarter. So we'll just send one to one planet to take it over, and that's all,
Yeah.
and that's all we need. So like the top of all the top soldiers were sent out, and he was sent to Earth and he actually falls in love with Mark's mom, and there's this really great line. I mean, it's not great for anyone else, but it's a great written line. He's like, "And mom, but you love mom." He goes, your mom was more like a pet to me
Yeah,
than like Jesus.
that was incredible. I was like,
Like,
holy crap. Like he sees all life as basically weak and meaningless. But the problem is his son didn't have powers until he was already an adult, and he was not raised like that. So
no,
he's raised like a regular human,
yeah,
and so he
and
cares about everybody, and he doesn't want to do that.
yeah, and like Omni Man even like Omni Man literally tries to beat the human out of his son. I
Yeah.
mean, like, there's this one god awful scene. Like if this was like a anime, this would be like the darkest thing in the world.
Was it the teeth?
No, it
Oh,
was when he held his son's head and put it through a train, killing everyone on board,
oh, that was bad.
cut it in half, and you just see human parts flying
That
past
was
Mark's
bad.
face, and he just covered in all their blood. It's like you couldn't do anything. He literally just sat there and said, "Wow."
And
It's
his
like,
like own super body killed them
yeah,
on accident. I mean, he
yeah,
wasn't trying to, but
yeah. Look, I mean, Omni Man literally held his son's head against a train coming at full speed and cut in half with his
just
thumb.
let yeah people get ripped apart. Wow. So his just so that his face could see them all get killed. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus. But
Um.
another bad one was where he was about to beat his son to death, and he's like, you know what? I got all the time in the galaxy. I could just I'll spend another 25 years and try again.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
He was like, I can. He's like, I will have another son, and I'll try this again in 25 years. Like, Jesus, man.
It's like, holy hell. That was insane to me.
Yeah.
But there was a shred of humanity that kind of sunk through at the end there.
Yes, I would say. I mean, you could probably. I could think realistically, you can fit like 5 issues into one episode because
Hmm.
like four or 5 issues is usually like an arc.
Hmm.
So I think they can fit like an arc or two or mix them up together like per episode.
Yeah.
So I would say keep out for season 3. This is not the last we're going to see of Omni Man.
Hmm.
And again, like being one of those guys that I think this is one few times where like I know everything about the series that comes out. So there's a lot of articles that are like, hey, Omni Man is he done? Will we see him later? Trust me, you're going to see him later.
Oh,
Uh,
he's not done. Come on.
I don't know.
That'd be
Oh,
awful storytelling.
um, I think arc wise, he's one of my favorite arcs in Invincible.
Hmm.
Um, but again, that's for a later date. Um,
I just can't. I don't think I can wait. I'm gonna have to read. Just start reading.
I don't. I mean, uh,
I don't even care. I'm reading it.
okay, read it.
I
Read it.
just can't wait. It's so damn good.
It is excellent. The writing is great. The
I love
panels
his ideas. Like, it's just
and
so original. Like, it doesn't. You think it's gonna just retread something.
right.
Just like, wow, what he does with it. I just love it.
Yeah, no, it's great. There are some storylines and stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of in this comic in general, but as a whole, I do like it. I think that's why it's like my third or fourth favorite like comic of all time.
Yeah.
There's some main story arcs I can do without, or maybe we're done a little differently. But with that being said, other key characters are actually shown in this season. People won't know, but I'll tell you to keep an eye out for them. They'll be a bigger part later on.
Hmm.
Depending on again how long it takes to do like an arc per episode. We might not see them again until like season 4 or 5. Battle Beast and Alan are really two really awesome characters. Battle
Is
Beast,
that the tiger guy or?
yeah.
Okay.
He has an actual name. It's like Throg or Thong or Throg or something like that. I never know how to pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
He's personally my favorite because basically without any spoilers, he's like a Viking.
Hmm.
um, he
He
just
was
loves
awesome in his scene, in his show.
like his whole purpose in life is to find the greatest battle of his life. That's it. No other purpose in his life other than that. And if you read the comics, there's a
Hmm.
great fight scene with him. It is awesome.
Nice.
Um, he's yeah, like I say, he's one of my favorite characters. And Alan plays a big part later on in the series as well.
Is he like the Cyclops alien or what?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He
That
and
was Seth Rogen. I didn't even realize it till later.
yeah, yeah, with his goofy ass laugh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alan is a really good character too. So
Hmm.
they introduced a lot of stuff in this first season. You may not know the significance of it as
No,
casual fan or someone who never read the comics, but they did reveal a lot of stuff that be like, oh shit, okay, I'm
the
intrigued.
face huggers, they never really finished.
Oh no, that definitely comes back around.
I love what they did with the Machine Man storyline.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I
Hmm.
was like, this is cool. And the clone guys and action
Yeah.
and just
Look
the
at cool.
ideas. It's just so creative, so good.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in this thing. Like I said, this show is definitely on a budget. I'm not gonna like pretend that it isn't. You can
Mm.
definitely get, especially when Mark flies, it looks like a paper, like a cutout of Mark just like going,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
It's like
like
gliding across the background.
yeah, and some of the facial expressions are just kind of like very like oh, kind of like these
Yes,
weird like stock faces, but they do put the money where it counts. Like the action here is very fluid,
very
very
good.
good, very very good. And again, like I think they needed to save that money for those action scenes, so those violent scenes had more weight behind it. Because
Oh, and they had weight. Let me tell you,
this definitely a show that when you get fucked up, you get fucked up
man.
big time.
I like that about it though because, I mean, if somebody had powers like that, they could just the
Yeah,
things they could do is insane.
yeah. Like I just kind of want to do like a side episode. We just talk about the Invincible series, but because like I said, it's hard for me to hold my tongue. It really is. But
Like the
um,
series was like what, 160 issues?
144, I think.
And how much story do you
Well,
think they've gotten to with the season?
oh,
Like 25% or something?
uh,
I know they kind of rushed it because they didn't know if they were gonna continue or not.
yeah, maybe 15, 20. And I say that because they're like the stuff that happens at the college episode. That's
Yeah.
that's like an entire arc where like Mark's actually in college.
Oh, I love that arc. That was great
Yeah,
too.
it's good. But in here, it's he went there on a campus visit, and shit happens. But in the comics, it's actually him in college, and he goes, there's some funny shit going on here. I should probably find out what's going on. So yeah, so some stuff has changed or sped up a little bit or brought in a little earlier than it should be. But I think maybe 15%, 20%. Uh,
Wow.
and and the problem is too. I think there was an arc. I think it was the Invincible Wars
Hmm.
that kind of like brought in other Image comics in into the fray, and then we have like
Mm.
spin-offs. Then we have spin-offs and like side series or stuff that came from it.
Yeah.
Like Robot has his own his own side arc and
Mm.
main arc and like within the actual series itself. So there's like side characters that get their own little run or like they play more important part and
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. So
Oh, the one I like is they barely used him too. Was the guy who turns into like granite, the one who used Mark to take over the like that
oh
Kingpin's
yeah, yeah.
building.
Um, feel,
That was awesome. Like what a cool idea and like
so good.
it was good.
Yeah. I
It
kind of
was
wanted
cool.
to smack Mark in that episode. Like I applaud him for like, hey, listen, this guy needs help. But when that guy said, like, there's no such thing as criminals. I was just in a bad spot. I'm like, no, you did bad shit. You're a bad person.
Yeah.
It's like you're just a bad man. But like Mark has to learn one way or another. But I mean, Battle Beast whips his ass, and
Yeah, he really does.
I love Battle Beast so much.
His
Um,
dad just kind of lets it happen though. like
Yeah,
as a punishment, like I told you so.
as a lesson, he's like, listen, boy, I told you, don't do this stupid shit. Now you have to learn.
He tried to call in the Guardians, but they were just not powerful enough.
Oh no, like the first set of Guardians were like true heroes.
They were
The
like established, really powerful.
Yeah, good Guardians 2.0 are like, I don't want to call them rejects, but they are not they're not
They're
on the same
cobbled
level at
together.
all.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're not the same level at all.
no, not at all.
Uh, um, but yeah,
Um,
and
the
again,
brutality, man, when they get their ass whooped, so it's
yeah,
really
it's
impactful, man. And
really
there's a lot of consequences, which I like.
yeah, and like it's so funny and weird because like they just casually just say magic is real, hell is real, there's curses and all this other shit, but that's just life. There's there's
I know,
really not
right?
any of it. Like um,
I like that
Monster Girl.
investigator guy.
Yeah, like the investigator played by Clancy Brown,
Hmm.
motherfucking Clancy Brown. He literally escaped hell and was like, "Yeah, hell is real, guys. I will tell you." It's like, and then we're just like, "Yep, that sounds right." And then
Yeah.
he's no, Monster Girl. She has a she is 25 and she has this power that allows her to turn into a monster with like incredible strength.
Hmm.
But every time she uses it, she actually ages. She actually becomes younger. So like right now, she looks like she's 13 when she's really like 25,
Yeah.
and it's a curse. So every time she uses her powers, she like loses like a week of her age. So
Hmm.
she's like aging backwards. And it's like
I
that
like how
sucks.
she kind of comments when like robot is like, all right, we got to train like 10 times a
Yeah,
week or something. She's like, I'm gonna be like a baby if I keep doing that.
yeah. It's like yeah, it's like again like it's a literal curse put on her,
It's kind of
and
interesting. Like, can she actually die then? Like, how does that even work?
she's a fetus. Rawr.
If she just keeps using the powers every time she gets old or something, I don't know.
I mean, I would think technically you can age yourself out of existence. You know,
That's crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. It is a terrible thing to
it's
have.
cool. There's so many great things in this show. I mean, they
uh,
really went for it, man.
Robot's another really good character. Um,
Very good.
oh
I love the voice actor. He's
yeah,
the
maybe not good.
perfect choice.
Zachary Quinton, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Quinton.
Quinto, I think.
Yeah,
Perfect
he
voice.
was very
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 good.
very good choice as
His arc
casting.
is great. All that stuff's great.
Yeah, man. This like I said, this is a season that sets up stuff that people don't realize that
Hmm.
is being set up for later. And with that being said, what they offer us is really good. It is really good.
Hmm.
Like I said, there's certain arcs I want to see how they're going to handle, see if they'll change anything, or they're just going to take it out from the comics and just kind of like animate it, which is fine.
Hmm.
Like I said, there's some arcs I can do without or have different outcomes because as much as I love Kurtman, he goes fucking crazy sometimes. So, I mean, like Jesus, man, give it a rest. Oh my God,
He's a
you
little
just don't
nuts.
you just don't like people to be happy, do you? Shit.
Yeah, it's like that's what happened in Walking Dead too. Like
Yeah.
when I discovered it, I think they were on volume 6, and I tore through those books. Like I loved it, just kind of like how I'm on a high on this show.
Right.
But then it got to like issue 100 and something, and I was like, this is just nonstop misery. You've
Yeah.
killed half the show, or half the people on it. And it's like, it didn't feel real after a while because it was like, Rick would have killed himself already if all this happened. Like,
Yeah.
this is too
Yeah.
much. Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
It's good and everything. It's just like too unreal. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, and again, like that's the issue I have with Kermit in general. He just goes too far. um,
Yeah.
Kind of like Josh Wheaton, where he doesn't like people to be happy. So he's like, if his character is happy, he's gonna die. Or like or he likes to subvert your expectation. Be like, this character is a heroine. Nah, she gets AIDS and dies. I'm like, what? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like
like
nobody's gonna be happy. Screw
yeah,
this.
like Jesus, just like you don't have to be such a fucking nihilist. Jesus. and he and again allegedly the things he did allegedly just like fuck him. So
Oh, right.
yeah, but
Just being a jerk.
yeah. So but Kurtman, like I said, Invincible is a fantastic comic, and this does have potential to be a damn fine show. And I will say I am happy that this is animated because
Hmm.
the biggest issue I have with like animation in general is that they assume it has to be a comedy or you have to make it funny. Like it has to be like a comedy element to the show for it to be considered acceptable.
Hmm.
And we see that in a lot of animations. That thing you sent me, I think it's like Final Space or like
Yeah.
um, that is a great show with some good concepts, but they
Hmm.
have to make the guy a comedy joke, and that actually bogs down the show a lot.
Yeah.
Like the
Because
guy,
it's nonstop. Every word out of
yeah,
his mouth is something idiotic or,
yeah, and it's just too much.
yeah.
Instead of making this a good sci-fi show with some cool concepts that deal with like cosmic horror or like identity and like these cool sci-fi things, it's a immature asshole that it, well, that's an asshole, and it's like this really bogs down the show from being really fantastic.
I think part of it
Um,
is like culture because in
yeah,
Japan they hold the animation to a very high art form. Like they're to them there's no difference between live action and animation, but over here it's like people want like Simpsons, South Park, like dirty humor or like stupid, over the top.
yeah,
That it's
yeah.
not this is actually one of the first ones that's actually doing something different. I don't know if this was animated by an American studio or not,
I
but
feel
I
like
really wish it would take off over here the same way as over there.
yeah. I mean, the reason why I think it is because I mean, like, technically, an anime is made in Japan. It
Hmm.
makes it anime. So,
So this
like,
would
like,
just be animation, I guess.
yeah, because like Avatar: Last Heaven, Airbender is an American proved television show that is edited or like I forgot what the process is called that they do in the show for animation, but it's rendered in Korea,
Okay.
but it's a U.S. born show that gives the okay, where an anime is specifically born out of Japan. So,
Okay.
um,
It's like
yeah,
very few shows in America are able to do it. Like, yeah, Avatar, Samurai Jack,
yeah. I mean,
just not that many.
Even Samurai Jack is like the last season is a really
Hmm.
good example of making a serious animated
Yeah.
show, and it is awe inspiring. It is a gorgeous fucking run. But the
Yeah,
first
man.
four seasons are great, fantastic, but they had those
Hmm.
jokes, those
And they're
elements.
still like trying to cater to kids. It's like not
Yes. Yeah.
gonna. But yeah, that's a really good point because the last season, it's like so far removed at this point that where he's like, okay, I can just tell an actual adult story.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to worry about like making this a kid show the whole time.
I mean, like Samurai Jack, the last season, he has like PTSD. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has
the
hard
whole time.
PTSD, and there's some like for like especially in that shows like some like jarring scenes. They're like, oh my god, shit, it like freaks you out because you're not used to seeing that in a animated show.
Yeah.
And Invincible is basically just a really well written movie that is in the
Hmm.
animation.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that they went that route of taking it serious instead of, oh,
Yeah.
let's make Mark really funny or let's make him a quirky best friend. It's like we don't need all that shit.
And there's
Just
definitely some
stick with
humor, but
sure.
it's done more naturally, unlike some of these things where it's like you're just constantly trying to make this a cartoon.
Yeah, there's a big difference of something being funny and trying to be funny.
Yes.
There's a big difference, you know.
And the
Uh,
jokes actually land to me, like just the
yeah,
stupid things. Some of the characters are just dumb, or like,
yeah,
but it's a
yeah,
good dumb,
yes,
you know.
yeah. I'm hoping that this is a change because like we are seeing that change again, like the last season, Samurai Jack. Um, the 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 the
Hmm.
Legend of Korra was really good too. I don't think
You
that
hear that?
yeah, I don't think that series gets enough love. I think people are hard headed and assholes about that series, but even that still has this like fart jokes and some stupid comedy in there. But it does lean towards more like again dealing with like PTSD is dealing with like the struggle of identity and trying to figure out your place in the world, and like it's like a
Hmm.
legitimate good story, and we're seeing that change in the thought process of animation, where hey, this is like a legit art form. It's a legit way of telling a story. Like I think
Yeah.
comics should almost be exclusively at this point animation. Um,
Hmm.
Powers, my favorite series of all time, should be animated
Yeah.
because I don't see why they would need to do live action, which they tried with the PlayStation.
Oh, I think we blanked out there.
There you go. Okay,
All right,
we're
we're
back.
good.
Um, they did two seasons of live action Powers, and it was garbage, hot trash. The only thing was like Eddie Izzard as the wolf. That was the only good thing. Everything else was shit.
Hmm.
Um, and that would do incredibly well as animation. Again, everything doesn't have to be a live action. Like I think maybe they should consider maybe turning a couple of video games into like animation and give
Yeah.
us a story, some good action. I mean, that's what the cutscenes are already. You know,
Right.
it's a CGI movie
I
that we
th-
just watched.
I think Netflix is sort of trying. They have the Castlevania show, which I heard is good, and Dragon Dogma is another one that I heard is good, but I just haven't watched.
Yeah.
Netflix is actually trying with the animation. They have a lot of original stuff, and then Amazon now has this. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they greenlight more stuff because of
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. I
I think
mean,
the buzz is really positive, and it's reaching
I
more
think
people than they thought. I think.
yeah, because I mean, I don't want to say this was like a niche series, but like
Kinda,
hard.
right?
Yeah, it's kind, but it kind of is though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like like people talk about, oh, this is great, but it's only those few people that know about it.
Hmm.
Because people talk about The Walking Dead, they'll talk about these big, big name titles, but Invincible is rarely brought up.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny. So yeah, I mean, like and I think that shock value of the blood in there helps,
Yeah. And
but
it's just so different, and it's like, okay, we're not gonna just do yet another, Justice League ripoff.
right, yeah, this is something completely vastly different than anything
Oh yeah.
American audiences are used to, especially when it comes to their animation. Because again, like I said, they're used to the South Park, the Futurama, Simpsons, and all that kind of stuff, and
There's a million of those shows.
million of shows. And again, you don't need to make something stupid comedy for people to like take it serious because it's just
Hmm.
gonna if anything, it's gonna hurt the show more than anything else.
Yeah.
So
Well, the kids animation is always highly like regarded, and
yeah,
it wins awards and stuff, but the adult market in America is it just hasn't been really tapped
right.
into, and they do release these movies sometimes, like Demon Slayer had a theatrical recently. I
Mhm.
think My Hero had a theatrical. Dragon
Uh,
Ball has
yeah.
had theatrical.
Oh, that Broly movie, I think was like it was such awe-inspiring those action scenes in that movie.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, and like I do like that where like you have to watch the series, but it's a it's it's a good way to tell a story that maybe we don't have time to watch in the series.
But it like doesn't help bring more
Right.
people, like, because it just alienates.
Yeah, it alienates, but I think for fans it's great. I think for general audience if I mean if anything, it could help in a way if they market it as, hey, this is a one-off story. It helps if you know, but if you want
Yeah,
to see what we're about, come watch it. Because
yeah.
like the My Hero one, it follows uh All Might's her trainer and
Hmm.
like her backstory and how she got the powers and all that kind of stuff. And again, it helps know all the stuff that leads to it. But I think maybe as a general audience could be like, this is kind of interesting. I want to learn more about it.
Yeah,
It might help. But again, no one's gonna push that and market that movie to the general audience because it's an anime, it's cartoons, it's for kids, and it's for that weird guy that runs
Right.
and goes.
It's
um,
unfortunate that the stigma is there, and
yeah.
because if anything, this show shows that there is possibilities
Oh yeah.
to make this, just as
Oh
viable as anything else.
yeah. I mean, there's so many good series out there that will never come to light because there's no budget for it, or people are like, it's for kids though. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's not. Just because it looks like it's for kids doesn't mean it is. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I hope this show really shows people.
yeah.
And
I mean,
Amazon's big enough, they have a big
oh,
enough drum to where they can, you know, show
and
this.
I will say they don't put too much effort in the streaming area of their business, which is a
Hmm.
shame. I think that they're missing out on a whole new market, but I think that might benefit the show because instead of putting that money towards like 10 new stupid shows, they can just focus on like the boys. They can focus on this. They can focus
Yeah.
on really like the main shows that drive people to Amazon. So,
I found this better than any superhero thing I've seen for years. Like,
oh,
just to me, man, it was just so refreshing, so
oh yeah,
good. I
it,
liked it a lot.
yeah. I mean, like,
The boys,
the boys.
I don't know, I'm conflicted on the boys, but this to me was just so much better.
Yeah, the boys just I won't say it's average, but it doesn't have that same weight
A
that like.
little boring sometimes and stuff. I don't know.
But this one, yeah, this held my attention. I went in thinking, okay, I watch one episode a day, so on Friday, I binged the first 7 episodes like in 2 days. I was like, okay, I had to keep going now. It's good.
I
I had
actually enjoyed the weekly format because the episodes were meaty enough. So much happened and it was so good and great quality, and it just made me look forward to it more and more.
yeah. Um, I'm very excited. I am very excited for season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
Probably gonna
don't
be a while though, right? Like maybe a year and a half till we see.
probably a year and a half because I mean, if they weren't sure that they're gonna get renewed, they probably haven't done any work on it yet.
Yeah.
So, but they probably had the story laid out. Well, like I said, it's very curious because I remember the series as a whole. I don't remember like how long it takes for like an arc to finish because like sometimes it feels like it's like 12 issues when it's really like 4 or 5. So it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to remember
It
like
kind of
details.
reads quickly too, like so
Yeah,
it's hard to remember everything because it's like
yeah,
I don't know the way that his style is. The same thing I felt in Walking Dead,
yeah,
where I was like, this is like a lot of pages, but like story wise, there's maybe 20 pages worth. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's like, oh well, that ended faster than I thought. Okay, so
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see how far they can get in those 2 seasons. Because like I said, at best, um, I'm very interested in season 3. Uh,
Yeah.
um, I hope they don't pull the trigger too soon, but they might. um,
Yeah. I want to
Overall,
see that dinosaur guy. I mean, he just seems so interesting, so cool.
what dinosaur guy?
The like that red dinosaur or whatever. They haven't shown him in the show yet, but I mean, he's on a
Oh,
lot of covers.
I was gonna say like he hasn't shown up yet. Okay,
No, no.
yeah, he's he has a really good arc too. Um, yeah, man. I'm really excited. This is definitely something I think you should go out of your way to watch. Um,
Yeah.
if you're not a fan of animated or cartoon stuff, give this a try. Um, again, again, be aware this is not for children. Do not sit down with your kids and watch it. I
Yeah.
mean, you could. I'm no one to tell anyone how to parent, but
I mean, even I winced at some of this stuff. I was like,
probably would do
whoa, dude.
it.
Holy hell. Like, some
Yeah,
of it's really brutal.
yeah. So
And I'm
just
used
be
to
aware of
like
that.
Mortal Kombat, and like we said earlier, we watched
Yeah,
freaking Predator and stuff like that at age 5. And
yeah.
even still, I was like, holy hell, this is crazy. The
It
show.
is. Yeah, it's shocking. Last thing
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
say.
damn.
Last thing.
Yep.
um, Man of Steel can go suck a dick. Um, this,
Fuck.
this the end fights in the last episode of Omni Man versus Invincible
Yeah.
shows why you shouldn't have a fight downtown.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just too damaging.
the number of people he killed on that train alone,
Oh
off
my
of
god.
they weren't even fighting. He just held them against it, and Superman comes in
A
and
hundred probably.
destroys the whole city, and everyone's like, "Yeah, he's a hero." What? He killed like
Uh,
hundreds of thousands of people.
I like how they kind of addressed the fight on the news. They were like, we lost like a hell of a lot of people over that fight. And it
and
wasn't even the whole fight there, like only some
oh,
of it.
it was just like little pockets of
Those Viltrumites are so fucking evil. Oh my god. Like,
oh
scary to a level of really scary. Like, there has to be a weakness. Somebody has to figure that out.
yeah. I mean,
Somebody has to figure out the kryptonite here. Because otherwise, man.
yeah. We could talk off the show more about Invincible because now I'm like in the Invincible mode. Where I'm like, I just want to tell somebody this shit's awesome. Uh,
Yeah, man. I really want to read it so bad.
Yeah, do read. Again, if you for people who are listening, if you haven't read the comics, just hold out, watch the show. No reason to like spoil the whole series for yourself.
Yeah.
If you are reading the comics, you'll still thoroughly enjoy this. It holds true to the characters and certain scenes and all that kind of stuff really well.
Hmm.
So this is definitely worth a watch. Either
Nice.
way. So
Yeah. Great, great show. I was not expecting it.
yeah, it literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I like this.
Because, I mean, it's been over for years, right? You said?
Maybe yeah, uh, yeah. I can't say for sure. Like it was like a couple years, like 5 years, but yeah, it's been over for a bit now.
Yeah.
Which is thank goodness instead of like Game of Thrones where they thought the books would be done in time and that lazy bastard. No, I don't
Yeah.
know his life, but yeah. So so the whole story is laid out for them. So
Yeah.
um, we can sit here and talk about the show all day,
Like
but
Gush on the show. Yeah.
so, we're gonna end it there before we just keep rambling on about
Yep.
how good the show is. Um, if you wish to listen to the audio portion of this podcast, you can head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any podcasting app of your choice. Head over to YouTube. If you want to watch the video portion of the podcast, type in Three Nerds on a Sunday. We're still the first option that comes up. Follow us on Facebook whenever you want to know when the episode drops. Always on Sunday. Times may vary, but Sunday for sure.
Hmm.
And we're not quite active on Instagram yet. It's been really interesting couple of weeks for me at work, and I haven't had the time to put focus and attention to the Instagram page. But we will do some more stuff on there, more like hot takes and quick thoughts on trailers and stuff that we saw, just kind of stuff we may not talk about here in depth, but we'll kind of give you the highlights over there.
Yeah.
So that will start. We'll get the ball rolling on that. Um, Instagram is Three Nerds on a Sunday. With the number three, do not spell out three. It is Three Nerds on a Sunday.
Yep.
So that is it, guys. That is our spoiler talks for that. We don't know what's coming next week. The Bad Batch is coming out soon, and there's a bit of a wait for Loki. So we'll see
Yeah.
what's next. But we'll definitely be back with another episode for news and nerd outs and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
Sure will. Bye. Oh, I forgot. I'm